with 49 countries in close to 400 cities spanning 6 continents in solidarity to say no to poison and corruption and to make a stand for our food supply, our health, our government, and our future. Since March Against Monsanto's first global action in 2013, we have seen incredible positive strides on a consumer level. We have witnessed history with Chipotle, the first U.S. restaurant chain to announce the move to become a GMO-free establishment. Staple household brands like General Mills, Campbell's, Mars, Hunt's, and others have answered the concerns of consumers for transparency by announcing the intent to voluntarily label all of their products containing genetically engineered ingredients. Huge corporations like Target, Kroger, and Costco have responded to organic demand by continuing to fill their store shelves with products made by companies demonstrating integrity, those that value health before wealth. This is because of us. The message we send every time the message we send every single time we spend $1 is mighty, and our efforts are working. We are being heard. We hold the power, because if we don't buy it, they can't sell it. I urge you to continue to vote with your dollars and to boycott companies like Monsanto, Nestle, Kellogg's, Gerber, who are peddling their poisons on unsuspecting families in the pursuit of profit, no matter the price on human health or the planet. Keep fighting and keep voting with your wallets. But we have to realize that labeling is not enough. Labeling does nothing to address the very real and very dire chemical threat we are facing. Roundup, Monsanto's best-selling weed killer, is necessary for GMOs to cultivate. Last year, the World Health Organization declared that glyphosate, the key ingredient in Roundup, probably causes cancer. And recent evidence proves that Monsanto has known of glyphosate's carcinogenicity since 1981. Recently, it was acknowledged that glyphosate is the most widely used compound in the history of chemical agriculture. Glyphosate is being banned all over the world. Meanwhile, our EPA is so incompetent, we can't even get it regulated, let alone a chance at a ban. And it is our health that is paying the price. Glyphosate probably causes cancer, and the EPA is doing nothing about the fact that glyphosate has been detected in air and rain samples. What do you think that means for our organic gardens? Glyphosate is everywhere and in everyone. This is a ubiquitous chemical that has been detected in the urine of people who have never even handled it. Glyphosate has been found in hospital feeding tubes and every popular tampon brand. It has even been detected in the breast milk of nursing mothers and the umbilical cord blood of newborn babies. Sorry about that. The EPA has the chance to do something right now, and they are doing nothing. Neil Anderson holds the power to revoke glyphosate's licensing, and it's not that he isn't unaware of our concerns. Thousands upon thousands of people have sounded the alarm to the EPA. Phone calls, emails, letters, petitions, and meetings have been largely ignored, while glyphosate continues to be sprayed in the parks our children play in, the schools they learn at, and the food we are feeding our families. I urge you to call, write, and email Neil Anderson. He can be reached at 703-308-8187. If anybody wants that number, just see me after. The EPA is not where this stops. Monsanto has managed to infiltrate the FDA, the USDA, our Supreme Court, and most of our politicians. We have been sold out time and again by the very people we have elected into office. We must care about our democracy more than once every 4 years. This is an election year, and we need to make a stand politically. One thing that I think we all learned from the Occupy movement is we fix a broken system from the inside out, not from the outside looking in. It's time to vote out career politicians and lobbyists disguised as elected officials. It's time to vote out congressmen and senators who are more concerned with backroom deals and biotech campaign contributions than they are about the voices of their constituents. Our elected officials have failed us miserably. Countries like Russia, China, and Mexico, among 23 others, outright ban GMOs in efforts to protect public health. Meanwhile, our senators are working very hard with the GMO and biotech industries to pass a law banning GMO labeling. It is outrageous that while significant restrictions exist in about 60 other countries, our officials are working underhandedly to keep us from a basic civil right as to know what is in our food and how it was made. It's outrageous. And it's only going to get worse if we fail to stop Monsanto's charge to the White House. Jerry Crawford is Monsanto's top lobbyist, and he is currently running Hillary Clinton's presidential campaign. Hillary has a long, cozy history with Monsanto, and we must wake up to the fact that a vote for Hillary is a vote for Monsanto. They have stolen our nutrition, they have stolen our health, and we will not allow them to steal our democracy. I urge all of you to truly consider what a vote for Hillary and her running mate Monsanto means for the health of our children, the planet, and future generations. Do you think our fragile health and environment can stand 4 years of Monsanto at the helm? I'm almost done here. I will say that in the name of transparency, since that's what we're fighting for, I am a big supporter of Bernie Sanders. He is the only candidate willing to stand up for our food and our right to know. A Monsanto White House also brings up the issue of their role in crimes against humanity spanning decades. Let's remember Monsanto started out as a chemical company, and they are responsible for horrible travesties on our planet and people like Agent Orange, DDT, and PCBs. The lasting impacts of these are still felt today. We have Agent Orange victims into the third generation suffering from horrible health diseases, and they weren't even alive to see this war. Major cities are suing Monsanto because of PCB contamination of our waterways. And recent redacted military documents obtained by my organization proves Monsanto is the sole producer of current-day white phosphorus, a horrific weapon of war that is being used in Palestine and Syria. Monsanto has never once been held accountable for these crimes. Not once, not ever. And now Monsanto is making a presidential run. We must stop a Monsanto presidency, and keeping Hillary out is the only way to accomplish that. We are all here today because we care about our children and future generations. We fight for those who cannot fight for themselves. As a mother, I am very concerned about what I view as an outright assault at the citizens of this planet. Our food is unsafe and our environment is tainted with carcinogenic chemicals that are in the air we breathe and the water we drink. In the name of fighting for those who cannot fight for themselves, I feel we have a moral obligation to protect our children from any and all predators like Monsanto who are harming our tiniest humans. And that is why I would be remiss to not discuss recent accusations against the CDC today. Last year, President Obama granted whistleblower status to Dr. William Thompson, a well-respected scientist and leading researcher who is still employed today at the CDC. In 2004, Dr. Thompson was part of a research team that destroyed evidence proving a definitive link between the MMR vaccine and autism. According to recorded conversations, Dr. Thompson and other scientists, including Dr. Colleen Boyle and Dr. Frank DiStefano, had a literal trash can party and destroyed the damaging evidence. Prior to this heinous act, Dr. Thompson made hard copies of all the evidence. The evidence is currently sitting in the hands of Congressman Bill Posey of Florida. Posey has tried unsuccessfully to bring a congressional hearing or investigation in the matter, because many of our elected officials, frankly, don't seem too concerned that the CDC has omitted evidence which has resulted in the destruction of countless lives. I don't think there's anyone here today who doesn't know someone with autism or how much this disease affects families. Congressman Jason Chaffetz of Utah's 3rd District is the chair on the Oversight and Government Reform Committee. He is the one that has the power to do something about that. I have personally spoke with him, and while I feel he understands the severity of the accusations against the CDC, not enough is being done right now to address this matter and protect our children. Every day that nothing is done and every day that we remain silent is another day that another child's life and another family is unnecessarily destroyed. I want to be clear, this is not a pro or anti-vaccination debate. To be honest, I don't think anyone is even qualified to have that debate in light of this evidence. We are talking about an agency that lied, an agency that has destroyed extremely damaging evidence that would have crippled public confidence in vaccinations, which is a multi-billion-dollar industry. If this particular portion of research was destroyed, what else are they hiding, and what else has been done? What other unfavorable findings have been callously destroyed to protect their precious profit margins? As I said, this isn't an argument about vaccines. It's about exposing corruption, fraud, and profiteering at the hands of an agency that the public has been led to trust deeply. It is about justice for countless victims who have been robbed of the chance of a life of normalcy, those that will require lifelong care and will never have the ability to speak or fight for themselves. We fight for the families and parents who once believed and trusted doctors and their assurances of safety only to be left without answers when an unsafe syringe forever altered their child. We fight for you. I encourage everyone to contact their elected officials and really create some noise over these serious accusations. Congressman Posey's D.C. office has happily agreed to release the evidence. The only thing our senators and congressmen have to do is send an aide over with a flash drive. This information has been concealed for a decade, and a generation has paid a dear price. We cannot allow this to continue. It is an honor to march with all of you here today and those all over the world who have united to stand up and take back what belongs to us, not rich, morally corrupt corporations. Fighting for our future starts with fighting for our health, and it is an impossibility to have a sustainable revolution without healthy citizens. Thank you for fighting, and thank you for marching against Monsanto.